Morning, folks. Phil here. We had an issue with our recliners. So, our recliners, the recliners in the RV are, on ours they are Stacy Stewart Collection recliners, and one of the handles broke off of the pole cable. So today I would like to take the time, I ordered new pole cables from Amazon. They're interchangeable. You can buy them. I think they were $10.95 for two of them. And the repair on it seems pretty simple. I kind of looked at the chairs. I kind of looked at the cable. It seems very simple. There are a couple challenges, I think. We'll get to those here in a minute. But I think we'll be able to change these no problem. And I wanted to share the video with you as I did it. I'm by myself. I'll admit that right up front. Mary's not here with me to help me out with this, but I think we can get this done. The video may not be as good a quality as if Mary was here, but I wanted to take the time to video this so we can post it on our YouTube channel. So here we go. Let's get started. So as you can see here, here's the handle. And the cable just snapped on it one day. I went to get in it and pop the legs out, and the cable snapped on it. So I immediately panicked, as we all probably do, and then I thought, well, it can't be that complicated. I mean, it's just a cable to replace. So I went on Amazon to look at cables, and we found the replacement cable. It's interchangeable. It can be used on any of these chairs that it said. So today I'm going to replace the cable, put the new one on. It seems pretty straightforward, but let's get started and see if we can get this done. So the first thing we need to do, obviously, is get the chairs loose from its moorings. I do know that in the front of the chairs, and I'll show you that here in just a second, there are two screws, and then in the back of the chair, there's like a bracket that the chair slides into, and the screws kind of hold it against that bracket. So let me get down here and see what we can do. So I wanted to take the time to show you the screws. You can see them just right here on the chair. There's just two of them. And then back there, you can see that silver bracket in the back. This is really all that holds the chair in, is these two screws in the front. I mean, you can rock the chairs are solid in there, and then that bracket in the back. So when you take those loose and put them back in, you want to be sure and align that bracket up in the back, and then take these two, and then put the two screws back in. So that's really all there is to getting these chairs loose. Also to note, our chairs have a cup holder and a little storage. On each side of that, there are brackets that hold holds that cup holder next to the chairs. I think it's just an added benefit to having more strength, so the whole chair doesn't move around. It kind of connects the two chairs together using those brackets on that armrest, cup holder, storage area device. So you have to, when you pull the chairs out, you'll have to lift them up off of the handle so you can separate this chair that we're going to work on from the other chair. So with the chair removed from its mooring and the two screws are taken out, and as you can see, there's a little bracket back here that the chair slides under. I just lay the chair on its side, and if you look right down in there, you see that silver bolt right here. This bolt right here. This bolt takes this part of the arm of the chair, it takes it loose from the chair so that you can get into where that little bracket that I showed you earlier is attached to the chair. You've got to take that bracket loose, and ours is held on with two Phillips screws. I'll show you that here in just a minute, how we'll take that off here in just a minute. But you've got to take this silver bolt right here out to release the arm of the chair enough so that it'll drop down so you can get to that bracket, so that you can get the Phillips screw out of it, so you can take that part of the bracket handle of the chair off. So we're working to take the side of the chair loose so that we can get to the bracket in here and take it off to put the new handle on. And remember, I showed you the big bolt down in here on the chair. Well, there's also a bolt right back here on the chair and a screw that goes right in here. So you have to take those loose also, and that frees this arm up, the side of the chair here up, so that you can move it and get to that bracket to disconnect it from the chair so you can put the new handle on. So basically what I have here is I have my drill set up just with a, I believe this is a 14 millimeter socket head, and I'll just take this that bolt out using my drill. Very easy, very simple. It comes right out as you pull up. It'll come right out with your bolt. Your bolt comes right out, and then I just screwed the rest of it the way out. And you've got to remember, when you put that bolt in, you've got to hit the nut that it goes in on the arm of the chair. So be careful with that and pay attention when you put it back on. We'll do that here in just a few minutes after I get the handle loose and work to get the new pull cable on. So now you can see with that bolt out, you can see here is the two screws. You can see the two screws there to get that, to release that cable tie from the handle of the chair. Again, the handle, the pull handle, would be above this bracket right here. So it just a couple Phillips screws to take that out. And again, with my drill driver, I put my extension on with my Phillips head screwdriver on it. Just reach in there, grab that Phillips screw. You can see it come out there. Pull that out. Again, you got to make an adjustment on the chair so you can get into that second Phillips screw right in there. It's a little tight, but if you get your screwdriver in there and kind of move it around, you can get that loose. So now that both of those screws are out, you can see that handle piece has come completely loose from the chair. You might want to note where the bracket was attached to. Now what I've done here, I've got the bracket loose. I'm ready to put the new handle in. But what I've done here is I've taped the new cable to the old so it will fish it through the lining of the chair, and I won't have to fish that through and struggle to work that through the lining of the chair, or I won't have to cut the lining or take the lining loose or anything like that. It'll just fish it right through the chair when I'm done. So now I'm ready to pull that through the chair. You can see here, we'll just pull it right through, kind of feed it into the chair there with the new bracket, or the new cable attached. It's a little tight because of that bracket, but you can get it through there, and then you'll see back here, it just pulls it right through, and you don't have to worry about anything about taking the chair loose or taking the cable loose or any of the lining loose. It just protects the integrity of the chair if you do it that way. And it's much easier. I mean, I suppose you could fish it through by hand, but it's much easier if you pull it through that way. So now I'll attach the new handle back in the location where the old handle was, and then we'll finish up on the back end once I get that attached. Again, it's just the two screws, attaching it back into the same location, pushing the handle up in. So shouldn't take too much effort on that part. So now you can see I've got that lined up with the holes that were before. The old one, you can see the screws were in the top of the bracket, so I'm going to replace the old ones, the new one, just like the old one, with the top of the screws at the top of the bracket. I'll just put those in, and then I'll show you when I'm done. So there you can see the screws are in place. The bracket is solid in the chair. Now it will be just a matter of putting that big bolt back in, closing up the chair, and I'll show you how to attach the back end here in just a minute. So now I'm just reversing my process. There's the big silver bolt. I will put it back in using my drill and just lock it back down. And then I'll do the two in the back that I showed you that I took loose from back there. So it's going very well. We should be done here in just a few minutes. So now I'm ready to disconnect the old bracket from the chair. And there is another clamp or another bracket right here. It's pretty simple to pull out. You just place a screwdriver behind there, pop it loose. I'll show you that in just a second. Ready to pop that bracket loose from the chair. All you do is put just a standard screwdriver right inside there. You'll see that little tab right there. Just kind of flick it just like that. And you have to pry on it a little bit, but it's not that hard. And then to get the little S piece that's here it is on the new one, off the old chair, you'll see the lever here. Just pull it back toward you and pull it right out. And now you're ready to put the new cable in. So you just reverse the process. Your little bracket right in here, right in that opening. Just line it up, push it in until it clicks, and then you're ready to put the new cable on and it goes in the top. Just kind of feed it in there, and then you'll feel it kind of slide in and latch, and there you go. So that is putting the new cable on. So now we've got the new handle on, we've got the bracket attached, we've got the main screw, the big screw at the front of the chair in. Now I'll repeat the process and put these two, the screw in here and the bolt in here. So you'll see it there. I got it started, and I'll just start it on in the chair, get it started good. And again, from earlier, these two and the big bolt are what frees that arm side off on the chair up, so you can get in there and take the bracket loose so you can put the new cable on. So now we've got the chair all back together. We will put it back in its place. Remember, on the side of the where the cup holder is, there's the brackets right here that attaches to the brackets right here on the chair. So you want to be sure and get those put back in place before you screw the chair down with those 2 points that I showed you earlier to take the chair loose. Remember in the beginning, I told you about the 2 screws and the bracket in the back. I've got the bracket lined up. I put the 2 screws in, the chair's in there solid. So I'll put the other chair in, get that all set up. It's the same process. Make sure the chair is aligned with the bracket in the back. Put the 2 screws back in their mooring holes, and you've got the chair back in place where it goes. So just wanted to finish up. The chairs are back in place. Everything's solid. The moorings are set. The brackets are set behind the chair in the proper place. The brackets that attach the chairs to the center console are in place. Everything is set. So now let's give it a test. So I'm here in my chair now. The handle is in place. It's right here. Ready to be pulled for the first time with me in it. So I'll flip my camera around and give it a shot. So now's the test. It's ready. It's done. The handle's in place. Give it a tug and recline we go. So folks, it really didn't take as long as I thought it would. Probably about 45 minutes to an hour. I took my time with it. I really looked at things as I did it. And as I recorded the video, the things that I took my time with and really looked at are the things that made it easier. The only screws you have to take loose is the 2 screws. Well, I took all 4 screws, took both chairs loose so they would come out as a set, cleaned underneath, mopped underneath for Mary, because she would want me to do that. She's not here with me right now. She's with our kids in Dallas. So I did that. And then it's just that the big bolt, which is 14 millimeter, takes a 14 millimeter drive bit. And then the smaller bolt and the Phillips screw in the back, that takes the left on this chair. It takes the arm rest on the outside, not the cup holder, not that console rest, but it takes that armrest loose so you can get to that bracket easier, that attaches right here by the handle to the chair. And then it's just a matter of taking the handle loose, putting the new handle on, screwing it in, feed the old handle through, take that one bracket loose with the screwdriver, just pop it out, pop the new one in, take the S bracket off of the old chair, or the old cable, put the new one on, put everything back together, put those two bolts and that one Phillips head screwdriver back in, and then put the moorings back. One thing about the moorings in the front of the chair, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. I'll mention it now, even if I mentioned it earlier. Those take the square head screwdriver. So that's all there is to it. Very simple process. As always, we're Hendrick Home on the Highway, and we'll see you down the road.